Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is FinestXI, and in today's video, we're going to talk about the 12.10 TarkovTV podcast that Nikita and Battlestate Games just put on. We're going to do a little recap. We're going to talk about all the cool stuff that's coming and talk about when this 12.10 patch is supposed to come out. Plus, we're going to talk patch notes and what is planned for 12.11 and future stuff past that. So lots to get to. Let's talk about it right now. Okay, first I'm going to start off by telling you that patch 12.10 is hopefully planned for next week. At the time of the making of this video, that would mean somewhere between March 28th and April 3rd. So do with that information what you will. Patch 12.10 should be coming out soon. It's not going to be a big patch in the words of Nikita, but we are going to get a couple of new items, and actually not just a couple, we're going to get several new items. Starting out, we have the STM-9. It is a new vector style submachine gun. It's going to shoot 9mm. It's going to be cheap, effective. He called it a support weapon. If we've learned anything about 9mm guns, is that they're pretty low recoil. They handle well. Excited to see where that's going to sit in all of the different 9mm guns that we currently have. They did say that it will take AR attachments, I believe, so it's probably going to be really customizable in that department, which is really cool. We're also getting a machete. It's supposed to be found in raid only and quite rare, is what Nikita said. And I'm sure you guys are wondering about this Tetris thing that's been going on lately, where they changed the barter from 1 Tetris for Bitcoin to 2 Tetris and 2 green battery for a Bitcoin. Well, we asked Nikita about that, and basically he just kind of laughed and said nothing. So he didn't really give any information as to why it's changed. My recent thoughts on this have pretty much been it's a temporary thing. This crazy wipe that we're in right now, where Bitcoin is so expensive and it's just ruling the economy, it's not always going to be like that. It's definitely not planned to stick around. So let's just enjoy this while we can, and then I'm sure Bitcoin will be back to cheap as heck sometime in the future. So let's just not worry about the Tetris barters too much. He didn't say anything about it anyway, so there's nothing to really go off of there. Also, mid TarkovTV, they dropped the patch notes, and so that brings us to this portion of the video where I do want to go through the patch notes and read them all off and talk about them very briefly. If you guys don't care about these patch notes or you want to read them on your own time, I do have timestamps in this video if you just want to skip ahead to the next section and talk about 12.11 stuff and future planned things that are coming to Tarkov. But let's begin with the 12.10 patch notes. We start with added voices for the scab bosses Reshala, Sanitar, Gluhar. Nikita said they did some very high quality voiceovers, and they're super excited to bring in the new voices. New actions and conditions of scavs and sounds for them. New clothes for Yusek Bear and scavs. New equipment. We're getting some chest rigs, some tactical slings, hunting vests, 2 new slicks, and I believe they're just colored differently. They didn't actually talk about this on the TarkovTV podcast. They showed the olive slick, but these should just be the regular class 6 slicks that you're used to in 2 different colors. More of the meta gear, which I'm sure will rustle some jimmies, but whatever. New backpack, ballistic glasses that actually had durability. Again, they didn't go over that. Excited to see if they can actually stop any bullets. That would be interesting. Active headset. We have a new headset, a cool looking gas mask, and army caps in several variations, colors, and camouflage. So a bunch of new wearable items there, and I'm super excited to see what those add to the rotation of gear. New items, new usable items. Emergency water ration. Nikita himself said he has no idea why they added this, which I thought was really funny. Hemostatic tourniquet, CAT, combat action tourniquet, I believe that stands for. Just another thing to stop heavy bleeds. The AFAK personal tactical first aid. It is an advanced IFAK. It has 400 HP on it. New ammo for 7.62x39. We're talking BP, PS, stuff like that. It is an armor piercing round. Excited to see if that becomes a new meta and how deadly that's going to be, because the BP is already extremely deadly. If this is more powerful, then we have a new meta on our hands. 5.56 as well, getting an armor piercing round again. Will this be higher pen than M995? We don't know yet. We'll see once it's added, hopefully next week. And we also have a hollow point round coming in for 5.56. I don't know how effective this is going to be. Most people tend to stay away from the flesh ammo as is, so we'll see what this does when it gets added. The STM-9 is getting added, that new submachine gun that I talked about earlier, as well as the PL-15 pistol. Nikita said he shot this pistol off in real life, really liked it, and that's probably why they added it to the game. It's kind of funny, but new pistol, he said it should be better than everything in the game currently, pistol wise. New gun parts, of course, there's always new attachments coming in when they add new guns. The Taiga 1 special melee tool, that's the machete. New barter items, TNT brick, ratchet wrench, can of thermite. This should all just be for barters. Don't worry, they're not adding TNT in the game just yet. New filter for the stash items found in raid, so you'll be able to only look at items found in raid in your stash. You can sort by that. Sorting of quests by current location, so if you want to see all the woods quests you have, you can just sort by woods. Message item already purchased has been moved to notification. Maybe when you're in the flea market, you try and buy something and it's sold, maybe that annoying message that you have to click through is no longer something you have to click through. So quality of life for flea market there. And that reminds me, there's something else you guys are going to be really excited to hear just momentarily. Stay with me. When you double tap the voice line key, aggressive phrases will be played as in combat. When placing a new offer, the item selection window appears to the left. So remember how we were always complaining about having to constantly hit add offer on the flea and then move that pesky window to the side so you could click on the item you wanted to sell? They heard us, they fixed it. Big, huge quality of life change. This will, over the next year of my life, probably save me a full day of time. Experience category icons on the post-raid screen. Just more quality of life there. Change. Steam audio option is back after fixes, so we get to try out Steam audio again. Don't think it's the full iteration, but we get the portion of it back, which people were really into. So good for that. Thermal imaging rendering system. Loot is no longer going to be highlighted in thermals. New system will allow further dynamic temperature changes, so hotter or colder signatures. Optimizations for improved performance when using thermal imager or thermal imaging sites. Fences offers are no longer displayed in the flea market. Rain sound is now 30% quieter. Everyone in the world just cheered for that. Reduced strength and endurance bonuses. I imagine they're talking about the max strength and endurance bonuses. I recently reset my account in Tarkov, and after coming from max level strength and endurance going back to level 1, I realized how large the gap is between the best and the worst. And I did say to my chat that I did think it needed to be tightened. The best needs to be brought down a little bit and the worst needs to be raised a little bit. There shouldn't be such a humongous difference between the slowest and the fastest characters. So they kind of narrowed the gap a little bit there. I think that's good for the game. Adjusted player spawns on customs. Interested to see what new spawns you'll see there. They didn't show us anything in the podcast, so not sure. We won't know yet till it actually happens. Increased hideout management leveling speed if solar batteries block is built. Imagine they're talking about solar panel. So that's good. It's if you have the solar panel built, and yet another reason to build it, because some people are hesitant right now. So if you want to level up hideout management quicker, build your solar panel. Simplified the attention skill progression. Simplified the mag drill skill progression. Mag drills, I believe, was bugged, so I hope this means that they fixed the leveling of it, and that's what they're saying here. Missing items from the scav after end of raid. If at this point there was a game update or the backend was unavailable for other reasons, just a kind of a bug fix there for scav gear transfer. Now we have fixed high volume breathing of some Baron USEC voices. One of the bugs with grenade explosion without sound and explosion effect. That's happened to me several times. Lighting issue when spawning on interchange. Empty quick healing screen. Error 228 if filter end while crafting purified water. Got that bug several times. Resetting the progress of the mag drill skill after leaving a raid. So this is what I was referring to with the bug of the mag drills. Every time you would leave a raid, the mag drill skill would reset to what it was before you entered the raid. So it was kind of never leveling. Now it should though. Inability to load into the game if you take in a raid a lot of maps with tags. Reset the selected character customization lower to the standard. Power extract sometimes failed to trigger at the end of the exfil timer. Difference in the time flow of the hideout generator. Playing the sound of distant gunshot while the shooter is in close proximity to the player. Bots not spawning in the factory offline horde mode. Various places on locations where it rained indoors. Ability to save the preset if there are critical parts missing on it. The player received an outdated invitation to the group after restarting the client. Missing shadows on factory after the reconnect. Currency conversion error in the client. When exchanging currencies on the client, the resulting amount was shown slightly less than necessary. Availability of container sorting on screen where it should not be. Examining an item on the scav's item transfer screen did not work if the item is on the scav. Sounds of falling casings and ricochets of bullets were audible for players in the bunker from outside the area on the reserve location. Inability to ensure a cultist knife. Lack of localization of firing mode in a raid. Looking for notes in a player's profile. Various minor adjustments to the locations, various minor bugs, various network errors, other errors, spamming errors, critical, cause crashes and disconnects, error 228. Lots of fixes there for you. Now we have AI changes. Bots on the move now shoot even less accurately than bots that are stationary. So when scavs are moving and shooting at you, they should be less accurate. That's kind of nice to see. Change the parameters of the effects of bushes on the visibility of bots. Bots now see worse, so yet another nerf to the scavs. Slow down the reaction of normal bots when detecting the player. Another nerf. Change parameters of player tracking at the last point. Bots follow the point less. So they're just dumbing these AI down considerably. With these 4 changes right here, you should be able to fight them much easier, especially if you get caught out in the open and you don't have much cover to work with. The maximum enemy detection radius of bots has been reduced. Bots do do not fire when changing positions to prone, fixed bosses spawn when they could appear without guards, fixed behavior when the boss did not attack an enemy and offline, fixed sniper bot spawn, various server bugs related to bots. And last section here is optimization. Changes to the shader system eliminate some of the freezes and micro stutters that were caused by shaders at the beginning of a raid, during combat contact, and during visual effects. Memory optimization, improved and corrected options in the MIP streaming setting. So it goes on to say that significantly optimizes the consumption of video memory for graphics cards with large amount of VRAM, and RAM for systems with small amount of VRAM in the game, which provides smoother rendering, reduces number of micro freezes associated with loading textures. Options now available at any texture quality, not just for high. Options disabled by default. On low settings in raids, some items may be unclear when the MIP streaming option is enabled. Changing the texture quality option and MIP streaming is not available in online raids because there may be a delay due to loading and unloading of textures, but available in offline and in the menu. For an efficient texture streaming system, it is highly desirable to place the Windows swap file on an SSD. Alright, so I didn't explain this before I started reading, but they added a new setting in your settings to essentially reduce stutters and just help load memory faster. So there's an MIP option at the bottom of your settings where all the other little checkboxes are, and if you check that, you should get much better performance. Nikita said he recommends it. You won't be able to change this in raid. You have to do it either in offline mode or in the menu because of the way that the delay works with it, but I'm going to be turning this setting on and seeing how effective and how much better performance I can get in the game. Anyway, that's the 12.10 preliminary patch notes. Hope you guys enjoyed this portion of the video. Okay, now we get to talk about basically what is coming out in the future, not necessarily 12.10, but stuff that is coming out after and stuff that is planned. So they talked briefly about a streamer mode. This only interests some of you, I know, but there's going to be some sort of streamer mode to help hide names or something of the sort, just like in other games have had in the past. Factory expansions planned for 12.11. On that note, they're planning on adding some sort of sledgehammer wielding scav boss. I couldn't be more excited. They showed like 5 seconds of this little video of a guy swinging a sledge. I imagine this is a new boss, but they didn't say, so we don't know for sure. They showed off the Scar. It's going to be a 7.62 gun. It's going to shoot like the M80, M61, stuff like that. I have reason to believe this is going to be the new meta gun for M62 and M61, that caliber. Right now we have the SA58, which got heavily nerfed this patch. We have the MDR 7.62 version that is pretty much the meta full auto 7.62 gun, and I think and hope that the Scar is going to be the next best 7.62. They showed the thermal shotgun again. It's going to have a little screen on the front that has a thermal imager so you can look through it and see thermal images ahead of you. He kind of described it as like a Doom style shotgun, which is sick, and he said it's going to be perfect for like breaching. I think the new scab boss on Factory's name is going to be Kuwalda. I'm definitely mispronouncing that. Don't, quote me on that, but Kuwalda or something like that is going to be the new boss's name. Scav Karma has been moved to 12.11, and they talked more about what this is going to entail, and I'm actually really excited about it now. So Scav Karma is going to mean everything from how often you can scav, like the changing of your timers, to the gear that you get starting as your scav. So higher Karma means you're going to be able to scav more, and you'll have better gear on your scav. In addition, there's going to be loyalty levels with fence that have to do with your scav karma. So basically you're going to want to get that karma up as high as you can so you can unlock better scav gear and just cool stuff like that. So there's going to be a whole system to playing your scav where you'll be able to level it up, get better karma, stuff like that, and get better rewards from that karma. They showed off some Streets of Tarkov pictures, some stuff we have not seen before, including a mini Goshen, which I thought was really funny, and just a bunch of various pictures that I'll show you here on the screen now. Obviously, Streets of Tarkov, as they said again, is going to be the most ambitious map they've ever done. I believe Nikita was even saying he thinks it's going to be the most ambitious map in video game history. I'm super excited for it. We all are. Here's just some more pictures to keep your interest, and he also did say that at the end of the year or sometime towards the end of the year is when they hope to have Streets out. I wouldn't hold your breath. I'd say early 2022 just to be safe about it, but we can always hope for getting Streets of Tarkov finally at the end of this year, 2021. VoIP this year is 100% planned, Nikita said, so being able to talk to other people in your raid that you're near. Switching shoulders for guns is planned, so right now your character holds the gun against his right shoulder. Eventually you'll be able to switch it over to the left shoulder. This isn't just a cosmetic thing. This does help when clearing left and right angles. The shoulder that your gun is resting on actually matters for this, and there is a bit of an advantage advantage to which shoulder you have it on and what corner you're clearing. Sights and scopes rework is planned for 12.11. I'm not really sure what they're going to be doing to rework it. I think they're fine now, but always open to see what they have planned. And kind of the last thing before he just kind of repeated a lot of what he said was that the economy is not going to stay the way it is now. I think this is something that's on everyone's mind. Reworks are planned. They want the flea market in the end to be extremely picky and volatile and dynamic and also random. So you never know what you're going to be able to afford or get. You never know what traders are going to be there on any given day, and you never know what's going to be available. And just metas, being able to buy things over and over on the flea, they just want to limit that as much as possible in the end game and just make it to where it's not so static and so guaranteed. You can't just sit there and buy a slick, best armor in the game, best ammo in the game all day long. They want to shake it up and make it difficult and random. So just be patient with the economy and the way everything is right now. This is just, it's the flavor of the wipe, to be completely honest with you. I've played this game for years. It has changed every patch and it will continue to do so. These bitcoins and the Bitcoin meta will fall. Everything will go back to normal and or just change completely again. So just be patient with the economy. Changes are coming. And that was pretty much the majority of the March 12.10 TarkovTV podcast. Lots of cool stuff I'm excited for. Obviously the leaks are awesome. The patch 12.10 coming so soon is really nice to hear. You know, getting a refresher every time you get a new patch, it just feels really good to play the game again. And just a lot of cool things like the rain being quieter, in addition to the quality of life changes on the flea market. Just lots of fun stuff to look forward to. So hope you guys enjoyed this little recap. I tried to make it a quick one for y'all. I do appreciate y'all checking out the channel. As always, please hit the like button for me. If you guys are new to Tarkov or want more helpful Tarkov content, hit the subscribe button as well. We put out a ton of videos. We also stream on Twitch all the time at twitch.tv/finestxi. Come stop by, say hello, ask your questions, or just chat with me about upcoming patches, whatever you want. Can't wait to meet you. As always, guys, have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one.